take it a little slower. Waking up right.
I'm a different kind of cop.
I don't wanna do your dirty work no more.
And we are back. Ooh. I need to change this. It's episode 25. We're nearing the end. We close out 2 seasons tonight of Sopranos. Just get to sit back and chill. Because
Well, we're already in the end game for Sopranos, so
so we are halfway through Sopranos ending, but we will still rate Mad Men and The Shield compare to the rest of the seasons tonight. We'll get bad guy of the weeks. We'll do all the fun stuff. Mark, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I was wondering if kind of watching this thing, and man, really hope the Shield can get back into this. Last week, was not fantastic, and there's only 2 episodes, so there's that.
That's true. Matt, how are you?
I'm doing good. I feel like the show bounced back a little bit from like the 2 worst episodes and like the entire run to being decent. But yeah, so I mean the other shows were pretty good. So how are you doing, Cody?
I'm fine.
We're all just
weeks.
so excited.
Yeah. The excitement of at the start of this season to where we are right now, it's pretty interesting. Not saying it's bad. It's just I wanted things to be better. I didn't get that, and it's okay on one of them. I got one. Arguably, I would consider the season finale, the season break, the ending of Mad Men was quite on point. Man, Matt's going back and doing that, which I'm going to try to. Matt's going to break down like all the bad guys of the week and try to get the overall winner. I'm going to try to get the ones that he doesn't have access to currently, just to help him out with that. But yeah, like Don is
You're
this-
with it.
This
incredible.
week,
Justin,
again?
Yeah,
I've been thinking for like the last 30 minutes, like who else could be bad guy of the week this week?
I'm sitting there.
I got a guy.
wish-
I'll be honest,
Okay.
I got a guy.
Okay. Good.
I wish we watched this together. We may plan to do some watches next season of just us. Like we'll do the episode after, but let's just watch them together. Some episodes together, just to get some reactions, especially if we know some shocking shit. Because I wish
that's
you
a good
would have
idea.
all sat there to watch me watch the certain things happen in Mad Men. I'm literally like. I'm like looking around like there's no way. It was insane. Pause, rewind. Oh my gosh, can I please fast forward? I'm uncomfortable as shit. It was crazy. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. But I'm excited to talk about it. So but before we do that, just a reminder, season 2, part 2, Succession, True Detective, and The Leftovers is what we will be doing after. Kind of had talk behind the scenes. Maybe mixing up our format, see how we like it. See, basically, if it works for us, it's going to work for the people because what we do every week is important to us. We want you to have fun watching it, but whatever works best for us is what we're going to probably keep. So we're just going to do some stuff on the outside. But again, only one streaming service. I'm really excited to cancel my AMC on my Prime for Mad Men to watch. I'm really just excited to that because that's the only thing I use it for. The only thing I've watched on it, and I'm really tired of seeing The Walking Dead, Dead City trailer that plays every time I click the episode. I know this is everybody's like, Cody, might as well just buy the physical media, and then you never have to worry about previews. Suck an egg. Not gonna happen.
Well, I thought we were going to do one of those Walking Dead spinoffs as our next weekly show.
I mean, Dead City's only 12 episodes total, I think.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
12 too many. But we're in my eyes, maybe wrong. But we're going to start with the Boys in Blue for a couple more weeks while he still has his job.
Dutch ain't going nowhere. It's okay.
Only 2 episodes, so go ahead.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to jump into episode 9, season 6, Recoil. Pretty much start off Vic going to see that city controller guy. He can't help him, so that's at that end. Aceveda and Cruz visit the strike team looking for an update on the San Marcos massacre. Cruz gives the guys a name to kind of follow up, maybe help out. Claudette sees them in there, kicks them out, and says, like, don't talk to those guys. Shane goes and meets Diro again. She kind of wants to make him a partner in her rise to the top of the Armenian gang. Vic visits Claudette, asking about his review panel. She tells him that he really doesn't deserve a fair shot, and he's got a week left to deal with it. He tells her that, hey, I'm going to solve the San Marcos massacre all by myself, and then you won't be able to get rid of me. The strike team talks to Cruz's source, and then he gives them intel on a gang member who has been bragging about cutting up those 12 bodies. Meanwhile, Shane brings Diro into Claudette. She pretends to be one of Rizian's employees who noticed his books weren't legit. So he wants to use the strike team to take out the operations at the port. We're going to jump back into Wire Season 2. Vic has Ronnie go with Shane to keep an eye on him. Meanwhile, while they're at the barn there, Vic tries to talk to Diro a little bit, but Shane kind of interrupts and kind of gets them separated. Shane and Ronnie stake out the port, but Ronnie isn't in the mood for any friendly conversation. They do end up arresting Rizian and his guys, and Shane warns Rizian not to say anything about their past dealings. And meanwhile, Vic, Hyatt, and Julian find the Salvadorian. They talk to him. Vic threatens to give him up to the Bizlats, but Hyatt says, no, we're going to take him back to the barn. And Vic's like, okay, fine, you question him. Hyatt is not one for interrogation all that well. But Vic ends up trying to make a deal with the guy that he will clear his name with the Mexicans if he gives up the other 2 killers, which eventually he gives up the names and tells Vic that Guardo was the one who ordered the killings. Dutch and Billings are also working on a murder case. Billing tells Dutch that he isn't going to let him hold the vending machines over him anymore. And they question one of the suspects. Eventually, they kind of show him the murder weapon. And then Dutch kind of keeps at him the whole episode and eventually gets him to confess. But the fun part of that storyline this week is Billings noticed that Hyatt and Tina are kind of flirting a little bit. So he decides to help speed things along by separately talking to each of them. Later, when he sees Hyatt and Tina talking, he kind of pockets Tina's cell phone. A little bit later on, Dutch gets a text message from Tina asking her to come by for some dinner. When Dutch arrives, you see that Billings is parked across the street, so he sees Dutch get there. But before Dutch can ring the doorbell, he hears some noises inside Tina's house. So being the detective that he is, he goes around and looks through the window.
Oh, yeah.
He sees Tina and Hyatt being rather intimate, especially for FX standards, I would say.
That's very true.
And Hyatt kind of locks eyes with him through the window and sees that he's watching them.
Yeah, like, bro, you're killing the vibe.
So Billings effectively turned Dutch into like a little cup situation there, but you know.
Very true. Very true.
But then back over, Vic and Ronnie get the two killers and they give them to the Bizlats, and they end up getting killed pretty much. Claudia is happy that the San Marcos massacre has been closed, although Vic still wants to look into Cruz. But Claudia tells Vic that today isn't enough to change what she's going to say to the panel, that Vic is pretty much done. Vic reveals to Diro that he knows who she really is and that he can be a much better friend to her than Shane. He actually told a little bit about how working with Shane worked out for Antoine Mitchell, which wasn't super well. She gets freaked out a little bit, and she ends up telling Shane that she can't work with him anymore. And then Vic talks to Aceveda and says he's going after Cruz, and he's going to bring them both down. Cruz visits Aceveda, worried about Vic, but he still thinks that it would be beneficial for them if Vic keeps his job. But Aceveda tells him that's impossible at this point. So Shane goes and sees Diro again, and he tells her that he's done a lot for her and she owes him. That still doesn't really seem to kind of turn anything. So eventually he tells her, you can't trust Vic because he was behind the money train robbery that cost you guys so much a year or two or so ago. And she tells him that I guess we'll have to take care of Vic then. Which Shane kind of tries to backpedal a little bit, but it's kind of a little too late at that point. And then we end the episode with Vic going and meeting Cruz. Cruz warns him to stop digging and that he's going to help him get his job back. He gives Vic the picture of Aceveda's famous suck moment, which I love that Cruz also blamed Aceveda for like going along with that when he had a gun to his head.
Yeah.
And he tells Vic, go ahead, you can use this to save your job, but as long as you promise to stop digging into me. So that's kind of the end of the episode. Vic has the Aceveda picture, and we'll have to see what he does with it in the season finale. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Dutch is a weirdo. I think we've all confirmed. Weird guy. Maybe not serial killer, but this could lead to it. Who knows? Peeping Tom. You know what always is normal is when you hear like sex noises. Getting a better view.
He didn't know they were sex noises. He thought she might have been in danger or something.
Well, it proves that he's not been around that sound a lot in his life. So that could be a problem that he needs to try to figure out himself. But yeah. And as much as I don't believe that picture ever really is existing, like of course the show made it exist. Like there's no way those idiots printed it out and had anything to do with it. But whatever. It works for a good storyline because they were going nowhere. Their tires were just spinning. It was going nowhere. So really like that. And like as soon as what's the cop and what's the young girl cop that ended up banging the new detective?
Tina.
Yeah, well, as soon as Tina made locked eyes, I'm like, way better options than Dutch. Like she knew how to upgrade real fast. But yeah, overall, Shane's storyline, stuff like that, I still think they advanced too far. But it is what it is. They're trying to do their best to recover. We'll see if it pays off by the next episode.
Yeah, the main story, like for majority of this episode, until we saw that picture, didn't care. Like, I don't care. We got one more season. He's obviously not getting fired. If he does, it'll be the next season. Or he'll whatever. I don't know. But like this is, so it was like whatever. Like I don't care about this. I mean, I was way more interested in like I gotta be honest. Like going into this week for Bad Guy of the Week, I'm like, you know what? I think I know what it's gonna be. I know it's gonna be, but I gotta tell you, Billings is up there. Billings is up there after this last week. Like the amount of planning to get Dutch to see probably as graphic as sex as we can see on a cable TV channel. And he just has to sit there and think, "What the like he wasn't prepared to see that. He wasn't prepared to see like this woman just getting railed like that in front of him.
She invited him over for dinner.
Yeah, like what is that? And like Dutch is like I didn't think like hold on. I did not think there was any chance of this serial killer thing coming around. It may come around this next season. Like I don't see how that doesn't break a person. I'll be completely honest.
Not the worst. Somebody watching another person have sex moment this week.
Oh, you're right. There is another little girl who might be bad guy of the week. Yeah.
I think the
gaslighting,
just going into people's apartments, trying to get a doorman fired.
The manipulation that Billions put forth in this episode was crazy to me, and I think he's at least in the discussion.
And he does something even worse in the next episode, so who knows?
Wow. I love that you were able to paint that right when the same thing happens, but worse for years.
So, like my boy Dutch doesn't deserve that. I mean, come on, like
no.
He killed a cat. Like, stop.
I don't know. Like, I feel like there could have been worse. This punishment does not fit the crime. I was saying, like,
I don't disagree.
I think the worst part is that Hyatt just like locked eyes with him, and I think that's probably when he was like really going at it too.
Yeah, he's like, bro, can I help you? Like, what are you doing? Like, get out of here.
Okay.
All right, so I think that'll take us into the season finale, season 6, Spanish Prisoners. Vic meets with Aceveda right away. He's got to show him that picture. He asks for Aceveda's help with the review board, but Aceveda's like, "Oh, this picture is clearly a fake. Get off my lawn." Then by the time Vic gets back to the barn, Aceveda's lawyer, who you might recognize from Breaking Bad, Ted, meets Vic at the barn and tells him, just knock it off, leave it alone. Vic then goes to see Cruz, telling him he needs all the copies of the pictures as well as the story behind it. He tells him he's going to be more helpful to him if he remains a cop. Meanwhile, Shane meets with Diro at the hospital with her dad. He's only got a couple days left. They tell her she gives Shane money as a thank you for telling her about Vic and Ronnie robbing the money train. And Shane tells her that, hey, a bunch of cops is not going to be a good thing right now, so we should just leave that alone. But he doesn't get good, happy feelings about that, so Shane goes and visits Rizian in jail and tells him that he made a mistake backing Diro in all this, but he wants to help him now. So he tells Rizian tells Shane who she would use to kill the money train robbers, but he warns her that she wouldn't stop there. She would also kill their families in order to help solidify her position. So Vic goes back and sees Aceveda again, shows him the original memory stick, and tells him about all that stuff. And Vic tells him that Cruz gave him the pictures and that Cruz was involved with the San Marcos massacre. And he wants to work together with Aceveda on this so that he can keep his job. Aceveda and Vic tell Claudette that they need the one-armed guy's money in order to help them get to the bottom of everything, which Claudette agrees to get it released, but tells Aceveda there better not be any surprises at Vic's review board, so she wants to make sure that he's still going to be out of here. Shane goes and sees Diro again at the hospital. He asks her to leave Vic and Ronnie and their families alone. He then threatens her father, and that way he's able to leave and get out of there, but she tells her men that the hitman will take care of him as well now. So Shane at this point is just like in full-out freak-out mode. He calls Vic. Vic doesn't answer. He's kind of following around Corinne just to kind of keep an eye on her. The Eduardo guy, the one-armed guy, gets his money back, and Vic follows him to see where he drops it off at some office building. Vic goes in there, kind of looks around, asks some questions and stuff. And then Vic tells Aceveda he needs to stay close to Cruz. He still needs to be buddy-buddy with him. He gives Aceveda the pictures and tells them that they need to trust each other now. Meanwhile, Billings and Dutch respond to a dead body call in front of a little shop. And it's Miracle Joe, Farmington's favorite little homeless man celebrity. Danny asks Dutch about being seen at Tina's place last night. So I guess Hyatt has been going around telling people that he saw Dutch there. He tells her that he thinks Billings was behind it and set him up. Danny goes and talks to Tina a little bit, tells her that Dutch got tricked. He wasn't just kind of like peeping out for the fun of it. Tina tells her that Dutch did have a chance with her. He just never took it. But with Hyatt, it was more of an impulse thing, and she thinks it was a mistake. Later, Tina and Dutch do sit down and talk. He apologizes, and then they agree to forget about it and move on. Meanwhile, Danny and Dutch interrogate a suspect. He asks for a lawyer, a rare thing in the Shield. But Claudette comes by and tells them that a Miracle Joe died of a heart attack. So the guy didn't kill him. They go back and talk
It took
to him.
us 6 seasons to get somebody to really request a lawyer. I think the last one, the person who requested a lawyer was season 1, episode 1, and the person got beat with a phone book for it.
Yeah, when words spreads about that, you might be a little bit shy about asking for a lawyer.
That guy deserved the phone book. I just want that on the record.
That is true. If anyone deserved the phone book, that was the guy trading girls for future prospects, I think. But yeah, so the suspect says he found the dead body and he just moved it in front of the store because the new owner of the store is being a jerk to him. So he figured he'd kind of ruin his day a little bit. And then later, a Miracle Joe's nephew comes and talks with Dutch and Danny, tells them about their uncle. They tell him how much his uncle meant to the community. And then later on, Danny kind of catches Dutch crying, and he tells her that sometimes it's the little things that hit him the hardest. And they have this nice little moment. They share a kiss. Billings then gives Claudette his disability paperwork and tells her that he's suing the department for $3 million from when he took a bump on the head like last season or at the very beginning of the season. And she tells him, insurance fraud is a felony. And he tells her that everything's documented in the paperwork. And if you go back and watch, there's a couple times during the season where he complains about having his head hurting and stuff. So he's been planting the seeds for this for a while. Then Hyatt tells Ronnie and Julian, remember Julian is part of the strike team now, that he got a tip on a gang initiation that's about to take place. So they go and break it up. Vic sees that one of his informants is in the cage, and Ronnie tells him that Hyatt busted him after he gave the tip about the gang initiation. So Vic and Hyatt kind of fight about that a little bit. Claudette ends up meeting the strike team at the scene where one of the kids from the initiation attacked a woman, and she tells them they need to find the other kid. Ronnie calls in Vic to help clean up the mess. They find the kid and get to him before he can hurt anybody. Vic tells Claudette that Hyatt isn't ready to take over. So later on, Claudette calls Hyatt into her office. At first, she asks about the whole Tina situation, because I guess that has really spread throughout the barn. And you kind of get the feeling that she's going to kind of use that as an excuse to get rid of him. She pretty much just tells him that she doesn't want Vic, but she needs someone with a little Vic in them. So, and he's just not cutting it. So Hyatt is gone.
That's ironic. I mean, Vic got somebody in the department pregnant. I feel like this guy. I mean,
wow. Unconfirmed.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh goodness. Then Aceveda meets with the Cruz and tells him he needs some money to help take care of an issue. And Cruz says, "Oh, I got you, but I need you to help me out. I'm going to give you some more money, and I need you to do a redistricting study for me." So then Aceveda and Vic meet up and kind of combine their information that they have and kind of figure out Cruz is doing all this to make it easier to expand his business and help the Mexican mob increase their territory in California there. Aceveda tells Vic this is something they can't wrap up in 3 days, and he doesn't have the pull to help save Vic. But he does know that one of the panel members has an autistic grandson, so maybe he might be able to like talk to him about that. Maybe that'll help you out. Shane tells Corinne and Cassidy that they are in danger and need to come with him now. So he pretty much kidnaps them and takes them and throws them in a trailer and lock them up for their protection. And then Shane goes and waits at Corinne's house. The hitman does show up, and he and Shane get in a fight. Shane ends up accidentally shooting him. I don't think it's a fatal shot because he tells the guy that Adiro is done, and if he wants, he can join up with Rizian. Danny tells Vic that they get a shots fired call at Corinne's house. So, of course, he rushes over there, but there's nobody there. Then we have Shane visiting Rizian in jail again. Rizian tells Shane that he will be able to keep everyone safe if he gives up Diro and her father. But Shane is still going to have to keep working for him until the debt is cleared, or Rizian's still going to have everyone killed. So, tough spot for Shane. Shane was like, oh, I forgot, Corinne and Cassidy, they're in that trailer. I better go let them out. So he goes and lets them out. They get home, and Corinne tells Vic about what Shane did, and she pretty much asks him, what are you going to do about it? So she's pretty much unleashing Vic now. He tells them to go over to his place, and he'll take care of Shane. Vic tells Ronnie to find out who Shane is working with so they can crush him. Then we see Shane goes and sees Diro at the hospital. He tells her that she has to leave the country before Rizian's people come to kill her. She turns off her father's life support and then leaves. And I think that's pretty much the end of her on the show as well. Vic is waiting for his panel to start. Corinne shows up with the kids to support him. Vic looks at his kids and he just walks away from the viewer board. He just gets out of there. I guess he didn't want to, because he cares about the kids. He didn't want to use that. He probably figured it wasn't going to work out for him anyway. So we see Vic is following the Arm Bulls, the guy who ended up getting all the money. He pulls him over, and Vic asks him to pop the trunk. But before he can do that, he starts driving away. Vic jumps in the window and starts punching the guy till he crashes. But it continues to beat him up a little bit. So he calls Aceveda and has him come meet him there. And Vic shows Aceveda all the information that this guy has in his trunk. It's just a box full of blackmail files for a ton of the government officials in the area. And Vic tells him that, hey, this should be able to go high enough up the ladder to save my job. And then he pretty much asks Aceveda if he's ready for this, because now they're teamed up and they're going to take all this down. And that is the end of our season.
They put as good of a bow on it as they could. I didn't overall love the final, past episode 6, so 4 more episodes?
Yeah, the last 4 episodes are, I think the last week's 2 episodes, I think were probably maybe the 2 worst episodes of the show, but this is still not great.
These last 2 were good overall.
Yeah,
there were some good moments. There were some good character work.
I think it would have worked better if they didn't already have Vic and Aceveda kind of team up a little bit in the second season. Like if this was the first time they teamed up, started working together, I think that would have been stronger.
What I was gonna say. Like, they jumped to that part too fast. Like, so overall, it worked in a lot of aspects. Tied up some loose ends, but I don't know where they're fully going for season 7. But like you said, it's great. So, you're not a lying POS like Mark, so I might believe you. But Pete, still not redeemed. Crazy. You're muted, and I love that you just keep talking.
You still got like another season to go. I don't know, like not like the worst guy. Like,
We're like sitting here. You know what? If you would have said Pete's not the worst in the show, you would be winning right now. You're right. Oh,
I mean-
Donald Draper.
I mean, yeah, this episode. These next two are definitely much better. It's just not. It wasn't on par where we were going.
Yeah.
I will say I do really like the intrigue going into next season. I do really like the idea of Aceveda and Vic kind of actually teaming up again. I think it's probably better. It has the potential to be better because like he's not like his direct superior, and like he's operating in a different world, so that could be better in that. And also, just where Shane is at and kind of things there's interesting possibilities there, and I'm willing to go with it, even though like kind of the Shane stuff that we got after he split off from Vic, I'm still wondering what the end game of that was. Like I don't know what he was doing, but
Shane is not a solo actor.
No, we learned that in season 4.
Yeah.
And also,
like put him back on the strike team to make him relevant.
I wasn't 100% sure she just completely let Hyatt go after you said that. I'm like, oh, so he's just gone? Like, what's the fucking point of bringing him in then? Like, why? It would have been funnier if we just made Julian the head of the strike team. Like, actually, Julian's gonna be leading the strike team.
Yeah.
After Vic's gone.
Yeah, but the Julian Tina scene wouldn't have worked as good as the Hyatt Tina scene.
It looks so like. What was the justification for getting rid of Hyatt?
Well, she pretty much said that he wasn't like good enough at the job, and I think she was going to kind of use it like he was like he had a sexual encounter or a relationship with like someone like lower ranked than him or something like that without disclosing it. It's going to be the official excuse, but
good thing we got an ethics department right near the end, baby. Remember when like season 3 they were like making bets to strip naked and walk through the bar? Wild times, am I right?
I mean, wasn't a season ago they were making bets on like who Danny's kid was, and the most popular option was Vic.
You shut the fuck
that was
up.
more of a fundraiser.
That's for a bassinet. Go fuck yourself.
Whatever. I mean, he'll be gone. Whatever. Like I'm sure you know the idea was sound for bringing in Hyatt.
No, yeah. Other departments are going to fight over him. He'll be okay. I think he goes and does the Miami Vice show or something like that, the reboot or something.
Good. All right. Yeah. Maybe next season we'll talk about that.
He likes those Latino women.
Oh no, Hawaii 5-0. That's the one he ended up going.
Hawaii 5-0. Oh,
yeah.
We'll get to Hawaii 5-0 at some point. We'll dive into all 12 seasons. Of
I don't believe we will. I don't believe.
You mean these 4 episodes of this guy wasn't enough for you to see him lead a show?
He wasn't good enough to lead the Shield, and the Shield was established. So we'll just veto that. Let's go. This is what I've been waiting for. Let's go.
Yeah. I don't have a ton of notes for that. We're gonna get to, I think, what everybody wants to get to. It's relatively quickly. Okay. Favors. Episode 11. Favors. Yeah, Roger had, I guess, after their California visit, they are now getting an in, like at Sunkiss. They're talking about kind of trying to get something there going. Pete's mother comes by the office. She looks like she's doing a lot better. She has a bit of an awkward moment with Peggy, where we thought for a second like, oh, she knew about her and Peggy. Instead, she just like thought it was Trudy. Like
her acting in that moment was the best acting in the show. I'm glad you and Pete were for the child.
Like what?
What? Oh,
So-
Trudy, you must not do that. Oh, you got to thank the fucking good. What is your sunset?
Yeah, she also says something about like her like being intimate with Manolo, her nurse. So Peggy's like,
mother.
so yeah, Peggy's going through it in that moment. Megan, Sylvia's whatever their son was, I forgot the name, but her son was talking to Megan. Don Carter talking to Megan, and it turns out he was being drafted to 1A. I guess that's bad. We don't have to deal with that. And apparently sent back his draft card. Now he's in what they would call a fuckload of trouble, because they are now calling him up, and he was talking to Megan about maybe going to Canada, and like Don is like, listen, he can't spend his life running. All right, like let's not get in the middle of this.
Come on, buddy, you can't. Got a face here.
Were you gonna change your name, start all over, or something?
Listen, buddy, if I can give you some advice, find a friend, kill him, and then take his name.
How does the name Dick Whitman sound? That one's available.
You're gonna still have the same problems because you're both AWOL, but come on, son.
So yeah, that's what happens. Then we get Ted, Peggy, and Pete. They actually had signed Ocean Spray. They were celebrating over it. And then Pete and Peggy kind of have a moment talking about their lives, and kind of he also notices there's a bit of a vibe between Ted, and she also kind of spills it about stuff that his mother was telling him about. And Pete, like, even though is somewhat disgusted, does kind of just write it off as like, well, she's just crazy, like whatever, like they're not having sex. Arnold then comes over. He comes to vent to Don about his son, and he doesn't know what to do. He's like, I don't know. Everybody's going crazy. Like Sylvia's going crazy. I don't know. And then Don is like, well, I wish I could help, but I don't know. Don then goes and asks Pete if he still has his friend in the Department of Defense. He says he's moved on.
Don.
He never actually said, like, or no, wait, yeah, he never actually said if he was talking about him. He just said he's talking about somebody else.
Yeah, but he's like, what the fuck did you get us into now?
Oh, then go into that, but yeah, he can't help out. So he does mention, like, hey, maybe talk to Chevy. They probably got pull over there. Yeah, great, wonderful idea, Pete. Then we get into the partners meeting, and Roger and Don's like, hey, good news, we have a meeting with Sunkiss. And then Ted is like, the fuck you do? We just signed Ocean Spray. It's like, well, like, what do you mean? Like, why didn't you tell us about this? Like, I mean, I was going to tell you about it at this meeting. He's like, the fuck you mean? We sent out memos. Like, you're not reading the memos? Like, of course not. We're not reading memos. Didn't know we were still doing that.
So what did his boss say? Like, the first thing, I told you about these memos. The more you sin, the more least they read.
So yeah, they get all upset about that. They ultimately decide just to do Ocean Spray since they already landed it. So we'll see how that goes. Sally then meets his son. Oh, and Sally meets their son. He's out there, and does seem like Sally and her friend have a bit of a crush on this guy.
No.
He does have a dreamy look to him. Then Pete brings up what Peggy told him to his mother. And yeah, she just kind of doubles down on it, and Pete's like, okay, like I can't deal with this anymore. We just gotta get rid of Manolo. Like you can't think like he's having sex with you, or like maybe you are. Like I can't deal with it.
Who's the guy that Jones like dating with or flirting with?
Bob, yeah.
Bob.
You're a perv. You gave me a pervert. That's literally all time. What is this about? You gave me a pervert.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
His mom did say that he's unlovable too, so I guess that's key. Yeah.
I just love his mother saying, I haven't been awake in this in years.
Mother!
Then, Don does try to feel things out with Chevy, and he puts out a weird vibe at this business dinner. It's quickly turned over. Like, yeah, like, what do you know? Like, bring up the war during a business dinner. He's gonna really bring things down.
Not the worst pitch he gives the entire.
Unfortunately, not. That comes later. Peggy then Oh yeah, like Peggy then pulls out of the stops, try to get Stan over to deal with some dead rat. Tries to say she'll have sex with him or do a threesome, and then he's like, "Yeah, nah, thanks, like, we're good. Like, I'm not doing that." Ted then goes to Don about what happened at the dinner. Tells him, "Hey, maybe don't do that again. Don't bring up the war." But then he also tells him about like, "Hey, like I was just trying to help out my neighbor's son. He's being drafted," and he's like, "Oh, I can maybe help him become a pilot in the National Guard." And he's like, "It's like, what, you would do that?" "Yeah, I'll do that as long as you stop fucking with me at work. Maybe don't like do these battles with me like in Ocean Spray and Sunkissed." And then Don's like, "Okay, I didn't even think I was doing that." It's like, "Yeah, don't do this anymore. All right, I know what your thing is. I'm gonna call the guy, and like we're good. All right."
That's a promise I will keep for 5 minutes.
Maybe left.
Don then calls Arnold. Ends up getting Sylvia. He tells her the good news that he may have like an in for like their son. She's very grateful, and just kind of like starting to say like, "Hey, I was just mad at you about all this and that." So talking to Don about that.
Fucking gross.
Uh,
And she's
Pete.
like, "I didn't do it because I didn't want to fall in love." Blah blah blah. Bitch, shut up! Like, God, you're opening the door again. Let me tell you, Dom's gonna kick it open and then make you sit on the couch for the rest of your life till he shows up.
Yeah, and then as Cody brought up, Bob then goes and talks to Pete about his mother and his Manolo. And he's like, "Hey, I don't know, like, what you're doing. Like, if this guy's like having sex with my mother, like, I can't have it." And then Bob is like, "He's definitely not having sex with your mother. Like, that's not happening." He's like, "What makes you so sure?" He's like, "Well, like he may have a thing. We all have love." And he kind of makes a pass at Pete a little bit, and Pete is like, "Yeah, I don't do that."
My
They
God,
touch knees.
you made a pass at me, sir.
And then Bob then walks away disappointed, and also knowing that Manolo is of course out of a job. So fortunate for that. Then Sally's friend and they're going on to the something with the Model UN, and they had made some like letter saying they liked that son's like ass or something, and she's like, "Hey, good news! That letter that we wrote all that personal stuff about, I left it in his apartment." And then Sally's like, "The fuck? Why'd you do that?" I'm like, "I don't know, because it'd be funny." Like, it's like, and so Sally
I'm
freaks
trying to
out.
hook you up, girl.
Sally freaks out. She heads back up there, goes to the doorman. It's like, "Hey, I forgot something at my apartment. Can you just give me the keys and I'll just go get it?" And he's like, whatever.
Gave
All
it
right,
to
you
her
go.
once, shouldn't give it to her a second time.
It's like, whatever. So like Sally goes up, like creeps in there, makes sure nobody's at home, walks in there, sees the letter waiting, and looks over to the right and sees her father in maybe one of the most vulnerable positions like we've ever seen any like he is ass out on top of Sylvia. Like no way he can talk out of it. You are literally only doing one thing in that position.
You can't even
We
claim the Heimlich. You can't claim the Heimlich at this point. You are full on. She is Nick down.
So of course she drops the keys.
Oh wait, what'd you say? What'd you say? There's no way to talk your way out.
Yeah. So
Challenge accepted.
Don sees that. He's like, "Hold on, Sally, we gotta talk." Well, like his pants are still down. Of course,
And Sylvie just melts down because she's like, "We're screwed."
she's freaking. He thinks he goes up to the apartment, checks the apartment. She's not there. He goes to the doorman's like, "Hey, did you see Sally here?" "Yeah, I put her in the cab." Like, what's going on? Like, something wrong? And like Don's just looking around, like, fuck. He doesn't know where to go. Back up to Sylvia, do whatever. He then decides to do what he does best. So he goes to a bar and just gets really drunk.
What an idiot! He is supposed to do.
Yeah.
Shit faced.
He eventually heads back home, and what do you know? Sally made it back to the apartment, and like there with Megan, and she's giving him the stare down, doesn't know what to say. They're about to
Megan
sit
has
down.
no clue, giving kisses on the cheek. I love you, blah blah blah. Wouldn't kiss that mouth if I was you. Sally's got to be thinking.
And then what do you know? Arnold and his son, show up, and he's like, "Hey, like he got you into the National Guard. Like, isn't he like this great guy? Like, thank you so much for doing this for me." And then they go out, and Megan is like, "Ah, you're the sweetest guy ever." And Sally's like, "You make me sick," and then storms off.
I was like, "Oh, what was up with that?"
I wonder why she's upset.
So they go off. The friend's able to talk to Megan. It's like that he just has a crush. She has a crush on the boy. Like, it's okay. And Don then goes to Sally, say, "Hey, I don't know what you think you saw, but
Don't make me shut this door down.
it wasn't what you think
I
it was."
was not pumping Sylvia. I was not.
He was comforting her. Yeah.
She was complaining about her dress, and I fell, and I was trying to pull up my pants because they dropped at the same time. You
She
gotta
told me she used to be on the
believe me.
wrestling team in high school. She was going to show me a move.
You gotta believe me. It wasn't what you saw, buddy. You're doing the. You
I mean,
literally.
he should have gone with the "What were you doing in that apartment?"
How dare you, improv? I was in a client's meeting.
You
I
weren't
was
supposed to
trying
be
to-
there. I wasn't supposed to be there. Let's just call it a wash.
Yeah. So turns out, if you're gonna have a mistress, it can't be in your apartment building.
Oh! You know what? There are some rules that you don't have to write down because they're that obvious.
I even like when we heard their apartment number. He was 17A, she was 16B. Like, they're almost directly one floor down.
Mhm.
So, yeah, and like I said, that's it. Don just gets caught. Like, what? Like, fine. By Sally of all
Literally
people.
pants down.
I remember seeing that for the first time, thinking this is maybe like I cannot imagine you catching anybody in that scenario, and not only you can only be doing one thing, and I can't imagine it being my father, and that's like how I can't imagine seeing my father just in just my life's different from that point on. Like, I can't imagine how Sally moves on from that moment.
Yeah, it's over. It's just you can't even ask your dad for mashed potatoes at the table anymore. You're just like, Dad, if you're done eating, can you please slide whatever you're eating down?
Can you pass another hot dog?
Don't look at me, you sicko. Yeah,
I mean, I guess we also could have seen Pete's mom and the guy in a weird.
Oh, Pete walking down on that would have been good too.
He would have thrown a chicken at him.
I think the mood in the room would be a little different. Like, ha ha, Pete, you got it.
Yeah, we would all been like, get him a little, like, yeah. Take it to Pete.
No, Pete would have gone and got his rifle.
Well, doesn't he bring that up? And then
That comes up
that's
in
in
like
the
the next
future episode, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, because he says,
he still just got it in the office.
Okay.
But yeah, good episode.
yeah. Is that it, or you got more?
Oh no, I mean that was it. I mean, even after
Oh,
he
I
talked to
figured that's how
Sally,
it ended, but
yeah, he talked to
my
Sally, and that
jaw
was it.
was on the floor. I was just like, there was no way. I literally sent in the group chat, I was like, he is going for bad guy. Like, there may never be another one. And you're like, yeah, not great. And then all of a sudden, the next episode happened. I'm like, oh my God, it gets worse. It's getting worse.
It's the advertising guy, not the mob boss or the crooked cop.
No. You know what? I hate New Yorkers, and I know he's not from New York, but he lives in New York. That makes perfect. I don't know, but wild choice.
I mean, I feel like he's an honorary New Yorker. Like
Oh,
every
100%.
action he has is like a normal New Yorker guy.
Yeah, he screams scumbag. Like, he just screams it. All right.
All right, yeah,
Next episode.
yeah. Let's just move on. Going on to the Quality of Mercy. 12. Yeah, Don. For whatever reason, I don't know, something's changed. He's been getting like drunker than usual, and like like Megan's been like noticing, like, hey, you gotta calm it down, all right? Like you're going off the rails a little bit. Yeah, she
Don't
caught
tell
him
me what to do,
sleeping.
woman.
She caught him sleeping in Sally's bed, and she didn't ask any questions about that. I don't know. Honestly, at some point we got to question whether or not Megan is a good wife or not. Like I don't know how good she is at noticing stuff. Like,
Well,
anyway.
before when she
With
was
her
upset
career.
about something, you remember when she was upset about something and Don chased her through the fucking house? So, like,
That was foreplay, though.
yeah, they ended up fucking.
I mean, the first time it was.
They could use their paddle. Like, just like,
And then, oh yeah, then we get our snapshot of Mad Men violence today. Ken is going hunting with some of the Chevy guys. He seems a little out of
James
place.
them.
And
He literally Dick Cheney. He said before Dick Cheney. Like,
he's like, to the right, and Ken's like, huh? And
I'm to the right.
Ken just gets shot in the face.
shot him right in the fucking face.
I was good. I was adding him to the kill count. I was like, oh,
Oh my god, he
shot
just
out of the
fucking-
face from like 2 feet away.
He just Dick Cheney this guy. What the fuck are we doing?
I mean, it was a bird shot. He just got peppered a little bit. So,
Yeah, don't be a
They go-
pussy.
Betty then calls Dawn. Apparently, Sally's not coming over again. She hasn't been over for a few weeks now, for whatever reason.
What happened? Anything?
I don't know. Like they won't talk about it. Like
Like,
Yeah,
she had a crush on
He
you
can't
left.
be
So.
in the room with you. You disgust me.
I mean, Betty thinks it's the burglar, so like we might as well let her keep thinking it's the burglar.
Yeah.
Turns out though she wants to go to a boarding school, and like Dawn is like, I'll pay for it. And she's got to get let in, and Dawn's like, yeah, how much does that cost?
Sally's like, my mom sucks, my dad sucks. I want to get out of here.
So he's got to deal with that. Ted and Peggy are starting to act more couple-like in the office, and everyone is starting to notice. Harry then gets called about Sunkissed. Turns out, they are, they want to up their media budget and going to go up to $8 million. Turns out it's almost 3 times what they were going to go for. And Dawn is sitting there like, what? I told you to not do that. We got a conflict. We got Ocean Spray. And then Harry's like, well, come on, it's more money. Like, why don't we go for it? And it's like, whatever, Harry, you go fuck yourself. Dawn and Megan then go to the movies, see Rosemary's Baby, and what do you know? Ted and Peggy are there, like middle of the day. Like they didn't think they'd see anybody, and like they saw them, like happy days. And and Megan sitting there is like, huh? They like together or something? Like what's going on? Like what are they doing? We then see Kenny back at the office. He's now got a couple scars on his face, and I guess it like got into his eye. So he's now wearing an eye patch. So and then Kenny's had it with Chevy. He's like, I can't do it anymore. All right, I'm tired of looking at steak. These guys are crazy. They were taking me to the hospital and they wanted to pick up lunch. Like this is fucking stupid. Like I'm not doing this anymore. And Pete is like, well, you don't want to go out there. I'll do it. I'll take that off your plate, Kenny. And you like, I'm your buddy here. And like Kenny is like, would you? Like that'd be great. Like yeah, let's just go and do that. Don and Roger then tell Jim and Ted about Sunkissed. And Ted is kind of pissed off and is like, well, cool, it's more money, but like, what do we do with the next business that, this happens to? Like, we showing these guys we have no fucking loyalty. Like, what's wrong with that? Then Pete then gets pulled into the meeting, at least say he'll be taking over for Chevy. But Bob is going to be assisting in the account, and like Pete is like, I mean, listen, don't we want to show them that it's getting better? And then the partner's like, hey, Kenny got shot in the face over there. Maybe Bob can help you like not have that happen to you. And then they put Bob out of the meeting. It's like, hey, we're not talking about this. Bob is going with you, and like that's just that. If you can't get along with Bob, we'll just send somebody else over there. So quit your shit about this. And then he has a then a conversation with Bob of like kind of smiled through gritted teeth of like saying, hey, just stay away from me, and we'll just kind of get through this. And Bob just not knowing where this is coming from. And then we then get Betty and Sally are then going up to that boarding school. She's gonna interview up there. Pete then calls Duck. He's calling him about Bob. He's like, hey, can you find this Bob guy like another job? Like I just need him out of here. Like this is like I can't deal with this fucking guy anymore. Peggy and Ted go through a possible ad like for Don, talk about something for St. Joseph's, and and he also notices like a bit of a weird vibe like with him and Peggy, like he's like putting his hand on her waist and like they're doing like it's it's disgusting, like they're it's like they're letting their sexual energy out on everybody, and it's also getting away in this business. Apparently they're like way over budget and they haven't told the guys yet, and like Don is like, yeah, we can't have this shit happen. And he ends up sending a budget to them. They end up freaking out and stop casting. And like Ted is like, what's going on, man? Like like this is gonna be like Peggy's masterpiece. Like we can't get in the way of this. And like it's like, and Don is like, don't worry, we'll go in, we'll figure it out. But like we're like 25,000 over budget. Like we gotta tell him something. So he ends up dealing with that. Pete's mother then comes back to the office and says she wants to go away with Manolo, looking for a passport. And Pete's like, yeah, it's probably expired. And yeah, I told you to stay away from that guy. Like, I don't know what you're doing. And then he gets real angry at the person that he replaced Manolo with. Say, hey, you're threatening your employment. Something like that. Then Pete, what do you know? He gets a call from Duck, and he says, hey, took a look into this Bob guy, and coming up pretty blank. I don't even think that's the guy's real name. And he's like, yeah, I think everything on here is phony. I did go back on this company you were talking about. Everybody remembered that guy. Turns out he was a manservant for a guy up there. And turns out he just kind of left with the Christmas card list, and like just nobody ever saw him again. And looking like he got hired by people that didn't bother to do a reference check. And so far, it's just you guys. So at least for right now, Pete just kind of checks that under the box of just useful information for right now. What the hell? I guess I skipped over the part. Like Sally's at the boarding school with the girls. Like they were wanting her to get like cigarettes and beer. And she's like, well, I don't have any of that, but I guess I can call some people about it. And, she ends up getting Glenn to come over with some booze and cigarettes, and he brings over a friend of his. And, Glenn, like, is really, chopping up the game, like, with one of these boarding school girls. He ends up going into the other room with them. And then the other guy is like, all right, I guess it goes over to Sally. Like, well, I guess, can we do some stuff? And she's like, I don't really want to. And he's like, well, what'd I drive all the way down here for? And she starts not
fucking boarding school is this shit? It turned into fucking Tony Montana's fucking Coke Empire real fucking fast. I'm like, Jesus. Of course it's fucking Glenn. Fucking scumbag.
Oh, poor Glenn.
Well, I don't know. Like he went to her defense. She knocked on the door. He's like, hey, bro, what are you doing? She's like, my sister. And then he starts fighting the guy, even though he's right back. Come on, like
this is 2 episodes in a row. Sally stops somebody from getting it on. So that's bad guy
Sally's an
behavior
awful
right there.
cockblock.
All right,
I'm not saying it. The internet's saying it.
All right, nomination. All right, Matt, you can make the argument when we get around to it.
Bad guy of the week. Stopping people from boning.
We then go to their meeting with St. Joseph's, and they're trying to calm them down. He's like, "Hey, you guys are going way over budget here. I need a reason for why it's so fucking over budget." And Don is like, "Well, like, it's a personal reason for Ted." And he's like, and Ted's like, "What do you mean personal?" I was like, "Come on,
Oh,
you know."
this was where it happened. I sent the message before it resolves, even, but I'm like, I'm like gasping at air. I'm like, there's no way he's outing them right now.
Well,
Yeah, he is.
No, not quite. He said like it's Frank Gleason's last idea.
Yeah, he waits to say that, but they both shoot him a look like
He was Ted was going to say something.
And they're like, "Okay, well, why don't you say something, Ted?" Well, it's only 25,000. Like, like cut the budget sometime. Like, yeah, I don't care what you do. Make some cartoons or whatever. Like, we're not putting in that many people in there. They go in the meeting. Ted is like, "The fuck was that in there?" And then Don is like, "Yeah, you gotta stop thinking with your dick on this one. Like, Peggy is like 100% screwing with your judgment here, and everybody notices it." And then, of course, Ted knows he's right in that capacity, so he just takes off for the day. Pete then goes to Bob and tells him, "Hey, I've dealt with somebody like you, and I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna get in the middle of this. I don't want to get in the middle of this, and you just keep me out of whatever you're doing. Just leave me out of it, and also maybe tell Manolo to get out of my mother's life." And he's like, he doesn't like women. Yeah, make sure. All right. So that is at least that for right now. And then Peggy then furious goes look for Ted, and he's not around. He's trying to distance himself. And then Peggy's like, "The fuck you doing? Like, I don't like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you fucking with us right now?" And he's like, "Listen, like, Ted, like, you just Ted's like doing his own thing. He's just got not worried about it." And like, of course, and then Peggy just goes up to him and is like, "Yeah, you know what? Kill the ad. You killed him. You just kill everything. You're a monster." Just leaves him with that, and Don just kind of takes a nap. It doesn't really matter. That's the end of the episode.
Everyone's mad at me. I'm just gonna get drunk and take a nap. But yeah, I thought that was really the bad Don thing, was that he kind of screwed over Peggy there by saying that her idea was the Frank Gleason's thing, because she was all excited. She thought this was gonna be her chance to win awards and all that stuff. But yeah, not as good as the last one. Could have done without some of the boarding school stuff, but yeah, it's still pretty fun.
Boarding school was by far the worst part of the episode. Again, I don't watch Mad Men to watch the fucking kids do fucking anything, to be honest with you. Don't care. Like, I'm glad they're there. I'm glad they add moments, but like when you give me 10-minute segment, let's just move along. I already have to deal with the child named Pete every week. I don't need to deal with, the actual children. No, but when Don says he's just too modest, he doesn't want to say it, and I'm like, you're fucking Don, you are fucked in the head. And let me tell you, it doesn't get any better for the man. He is on the deep end. He is on this rocker is messed up. It's crazy.
I mean,
this thing
you
was
guys,
singing.
You guys didn't think he was a little bit in the right? Like, they were really over budget. It was at 15. Now it's at 15.
No, I don't disagree that the budget was wrong. There's ways to handle it that he could have just led with. It was Frank's idea.
He wasn't gonna do it. Come on, he was just kind of, like they didn't. The guy didn't know what he was talking about.
Or Don throws out cash like it's going out of fucking style. He could have just covered the $50,000. Like, Peggy's done enough for his ass in the little 6 seasons. He could have just. So yeah, but overall, I had no problem with the episode. Boarding school, but I think it's peaking right where it needs to.
Mm-hmm.
And this next episode.
Yeah, why don't I just get into it? Finish it up. Season finale in care of. We start out. Don's going to the office, and Stan goes up to Don, being like, "Hey, I know you're looking for somebody for Sunkissed. For somebody's got to go over to L.A. and do stuff. Like, I kind of want to do it." He's like, "Well, I mean, what are you talking about? It's a demotion, right? I know, but like, you can turn like one desk into like a whole agency over there. It could be kind of neat." And he's like, "Well, like you're gonna be like gone, like if you screw up over there." It's like, yeah, but it'd be something cool. Like, I don't know, just think about it. I'm just throwing my hat in the ring. So Don, just kind of puts that in the back end. Ken and Jim then go to Don and said, "Hey, Hershey like is apparently looking for business," and like Don is like, "Well, Hershey like never does anything, and like they're fucking Hershey, like they don't have to advertise." And then they go for it anyway. Like they still kind of want at least the opportunity to go for it. Roger then talks to Bob about his intentions with Joan, just because Roger doesn't know any better. Like he doesn't realize. Yeah, they're just girlfriends. Nothing's going on there. Don then calls and says, "Oh yeah," he calls Sally because apparently she needs to make a statement about her encounter with the burglar. They keep getting letters from the police department. And then Sally is like, "Yeah, what? Okay, I gotta do some illegal shit. All right, whatever, man. Like you're one to talk to me about that," and just kind of hangs up on Don about it.
What is he? She said something. It was like, "What? Just tell him I miss. I didn't see what I thought I saw." Or something. She said something to just throw it back in Don's face. It's like, yeah,
Like
it was my imagination.
you just tell them what I think I saw.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So, and then and apparently Don, yeah, he's just kind of used to tying stuff on. He of course goes off on a work day and just at a bar getting drunk, and then some like possibly related to that He Is Risen guy from the Sopranos. He just starts talking to him about Jesus, and then he says something about like I guess like Kennedy like not finding Jesus, and like Don is like, "Oh, the fuck did you say?" And then Don just kind of wakes up in a jail cell and is like, "Huh, what was that all about?" And it turns out he punched that guy, so like Don just ends up spending the night in jail. Pete then gets a letter that his mother fell off the ship that she was on Manolo. Apparently, she went on there, and she is now lost at sea.
Well, that must have been a crazy accident.
I mean, I think so. Like, let's see what happens there.
His parents can't travel. Like,
air or sea, apparently.
Yeah.
This is why Pete never wanted to drive.
Pete better not get in the fucking car. Like, I'm saying, like, you're heading for something, buddy.
I mean, I guess he can.
That's
Wait,
some Final Destination shit. It's problem.
Wait, would it happen on a car or a train? A train feels like the thing that would probably.
Oh, for him?
Oh, he's been on lots of trains, yeah.
Yeah, he's dying on train.
I mean, it's why he doesn't commute anymore. I think he's like realizing that this could happen.
Well, he just finds women to bang on trains.
I mean, he got his ass beat on a train.
But should kill him.
Well, anyway. Oh yeah, so he's gone there, and so Don comes back home, tells Megan, she spent the night in jail. She's like, "Yeah, Don, you can't keep doing this." And like, "Well, I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking about, what if, we just moved to LA. Sunkiss is going out there, and I can just start, one desk and turn it into an agency. I don't know. I just thought of that all by myself just right now. And I think it'd be good for us if we do that." And then Megan's like, "Well, I got to get written off the show, but I got opportunities out there I could do." So she gets all excited about that. So, now all of a sudden Don is moving to LA, and he tells the partners about it. And they're like, "Well, I guess he can go. Like, I don't like. It's not ideal, but it's fine. Whatever." Like Jim is all for it. And he's like, "Cool. Like at least Don's not gonna be here. It sounds good to me." And then Stan goes up to Don's like, "Hey, the hell, bro? I told you about this yesterday. Oh, you just thought of this all by yourself, huh? He's like, what? I could probably get you to come out there. It's like, oh, work for you? No, thanks. I'm good. So Stan's all pissed about that. And then Pete then calls the ship people. It turns out Manolo had married his mom. And so, like, he's technically her husband. And then Pete is like, the fuck is going on? Like, this is fucking stupid. And then the secretary's like, hey, Bob's waiting for you. He's like, what? He's like, Bob's waiting for me. Like, I got something to tell him. And then Bob is like, hey, how's it going, Pete? It's like, and then he says, maybe the best line in the show. Not great, Bob. He just loses it on him. He's like, hey, you're that guy killed my mother. Like, the fuck is that all about? He's like, what do you mean? Like, he's not. I told you, he's not having sex with her. He wouldn't marry her. No, not if he
dumped that
thought.
bitch off the water. Off the boat.
Like, not if he thought she was rich. And then, of course, Bob didn't say anything. God damn it. He married her and threw her off the fucking boat.
As soon as they said he died, I was like, oh, he killed her. Like, I didn't even need the plot to develop. I was like, yeah, thought she was rich. Newsflash. He is not like.
No, he
Can't make
didn't
those
realize.
accusations against your stepfather.
He didn't realize we knew that 3 seasons ago. Then Peggy then tries to honeypot Ted. You know, she's walking around like, you know, some lady of the night or whatever, like with her tits out and stuff, and says goodbye to Ted, and then you know, gets Harry and you know, what's his face all going. So you know, Ted doesn't really like that. He ends up going over to apartments. Like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you trying to prove? He's like, I don't know. I'm just trying to, you know, get you going. And then Ted is like, yeah, it worked. Then, you know, making out and then, you know, having sex and, you know, like, you know, finally, like, all this at least sexual tension is over, at least between them.
See, Sally wasn't around to stop that once, so.
Facts.
She's been able to
She
stop
set
something.
the groundwork by walking in there. Like,
There was one she needed to stop. Probably would have been that.
what's the one friend? Not the one friend. The guy that says the dumbest shit all the time, right around the women. Like, he works in the TV space. Like,
Harry, yeah.
yeah, Harry is like when she walked in or whatever. He's like, oh, something by night. That's like in front of all these people. Like, will you stop talking? Like, he did that to Megan when he's like, oh, I'd love to. Like, Megan's standing right behind him. He's just the biggest horn dog in the office. It's not even close.
All right, sorry, keep it. All right. Oh yeah, Bob is able to get. Oh, he's able to get one in on Pete. They're going over to the Chevy showroom, and he was like, "Hey, this looks pretty cool, Pete. Don't you want to drive around the office?" And he's like, well, they can't let us do that in here. And the Chevy guy's like, "What? It's our room. You can do whatever you want." And Pete's like, "Okay, let's see if I can do this." And then Bob is like, "Yeah, it's a stick shift. You know how to drive stick, right, Pete?"
They're like, you don't have to drive stick.
Yeah. Pete just crashes into the something, and like he makes an ass out of himself, and yeah, that pretty much does it, you know, for Pete in Detroit. And like a very, very, very short-lived experience.
He didn't
for
even
him.
take a shotgun shot.
Then go over to Betty. She calls Don. Apparently, she got suspended trying to buy some booze, and he has to take her for Thanksgiving. And it makes Betty very upset. You know, so like we feel a little sorry for Betty. She's like, I can't do anything to help her out. I don't know what's the problem. And Don is like, all right, we'll figure it out. We'll do something. Roger's secretary just then goes to tell Joan that Roger is not doing particularly well. He's on the outs with his daughter and, you know, their family, and with Mona, and yeah, like, and then, you know, I think, you know, Joan just kind of feels sorry for him in the moment there. So just see where that goes. Ted then comes up to Don and says, "Hey, I got to go to California. I'm losing it here. I can't be around Peggy anymore. I got to put a country's distance in between me and her." And Don is like, I mean,
fucking bad.
Yeah, like it's done. Like they're writing my wife off the show. Like I need this too. Like you know what I'm going on. Like I've been banging my neighbor. Like I can't stay here. And he just kind of Ted just kind of takes that as an answer, so he's disappointed. And then they get into the Hershey meeting, and Don is like, "Yeah, you guys have a good product. I remember when my dad bought me Hershey bar for mowing the lawn." And he's like, "Oh wait, that wasn't the story. It was actually this. I lived at a whorehouse, and this lady would give me a Hershey bar whenever I got more than $1. It was actually that story. Does that sound cool?"
Oh, out of
And
going through the people's pants to give them a buck.
It's like, we're not going to put that in the ad, are we?
And he's like, I don't think you guys need to advertise. They know. Everybody knows, blah, blah. And they're all sitting there like, what the fuck are you doing? Like everybody's like, what? You used to be a fucking home run. You are literally Debbie Downer when you walk in this bitch now. Like, do what Roger does and shut the fuck up.
yeah, like yeah. This is probably Don's worst moment in the room. Like I don't know what he was thinking. Like he just play fucks it up, and the Hershey people just end leaving a weird note. And
never
then
wanted to fast forward a scene in my entire life. I was so uncomfortable, and I wasn't being pitched.
And after that, Don is like, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm good here. Ted, you can go to L.A. You can have the fresh start. Even though after that fucking meeting, he needs to get out. There's no way that he's get out
away.
About that,
You need to go to Alaska.
So at least Ted gets what he wants there. And then Pete and his brother then talk, I guess the shipmaster or whoever is handling the situation up there, saying, hey, yeah, we think your mother went overboard here or something. And they're like, well, I mean, we think she did. There are a lot of sharks out there. So, she may be out there or not. And then it's also probably going to cost some, because now that Manolo knows that your mother isn't rich, he's probably going to bolt. And then Pete and his brother are like, yeah, what would those, expenses be? Like, how much would it cost? It's like, wow, I mean, the ship's like, what? You can't put a cost on, finding your mother's killer. It's like, you know what? I'm getting a call. We'll give you a call back. And then, yeah, like his brother let it go. As his brother put it, she's in the sea. She's with Dad now. So, great sons. The Campbells are.
They did their time.
Ted then goes over to tell Peggy that he's going to LA, that he can't be with her. And then of course Peggy's like, the fuck, man, like you're telling me you're gonna leave your wife. What's up with this shit? I was like, don't worry, it's better for us. Like, yeah, whatever, you get the fuck out of here. So Peggy is not happy.
You get to decide. Ooh, what a line. Yeah. Peggy just doesn't know how to choose them.
I mean, Ted should have been a good guy. There's nothing wrong with Ted.
Other than being married with kids, Ted was a good guy.
But don't say, hey, start making out with you. I'm going to leave my wife. Now I'm going to pound you. Now, by the way, I'm going to California. Good luck, kid.
Listen, Ted, throughout the season, tried to do Don stuff. And Ted is not built to do Don stuff. He can't get drunk. He can't have affairs. Like, he can't do all these scumbag stuff. He's not good at it.
Can't do it. Don can't do it.
But Don's at least good at it, because he can get away. He got away with it for a long time. And he only didn't get away with it.
The crack in the armor.
Like 1 to 3 Don can get away with it.
He is translucent in this boy. He has no armor left. This man is falling apart.
Oh. Then, speaking of Don, he goes back over to the apartment and says, hey, you didn't tell, he tells Megan, okay, you didn't tell those guys you were leaving yet. And he's like, actually, yeah, I did. They were writing me off the show. It's like, shit. Yeah, because we're not going to California. Or I'm not going, at the very least. And Megan is like, well, sucks for you because I'm definitely going. Like I quit the show and like I don't know and like and Megan's just over at this point. Like she's just tired of this bullshit. Doesn't want to do this anymore. So like she just kind of leaves them there, and I guess they're okay with now being a bi-coastal couple.
I mean, fuck her all in the building only once she's not home.
Yeah.
Don looks
Oh, yeah.
for the absolute win. Yes.
Pete goes to see Trudy. They have a bit of a moment. He brings over some other things. It turns out he's also going to California to learn that there. Don apparently gets called into an early meeting. He shows up. Everybody's waiting for him. He's like, "Yeah, I thought we said 9 o'clock." And then Bert is like, "Huh, right on time." Like, what do you know? And they're like, "Hey, yeah, you've been doing some weird stuff, and I think you should probably take some time off. Maybe take off a couple months. It's the holidays that'll eat into it." And Don is like, what, really? Like, we're gonna put me on the bench here? Like, and not that I haven't delved all your stuff, and Bert Cooper is like, no, don't, like, we've already decided, okay? Like, there's no, like, it's not like you're up for defense here. Like, this is what's gonna happen. And like Don is like, well, I want a return date. And it's like, yeah, we can't give you that. Like, we'll let you know. We got your number. So Don leaves. And what do you know? On his way out, he runs into Duck Phillips. He turns out he's bringing in Lou Avery, another creative director from another agency. And Don just kind of looks at him going, hey, you're early. And then, of course, Avery then lands this little smart-ass comment. Look, I guess you're going down. Huh? Let me get the elevator for you.
Sorry, Don.
So Don looks like he's at least on the outs for a little bit. Roger then goes spends Thanksgiving with Joan, and what do you know? Bob is also there. Good times. But at least he gets to spend time with his kid. Then have this nice moment where Peggy's in Don's office, looking very Don-like, and then we end off the season with Don taking a little field trip over to Pennsylvania, where he shows his kids the whorehouse that he grew up in. It's like, hey,
Hell
kids,
yeah.
this is where Daddy grew up. And then Sally just kind of looks at him and kind of sort of like, all right, but why are we here? And this kind of ends off in them looking at this shitty house.
Yeah, the CGI looking house, like placed, like planted there, that doesn't look like it's in the neighborhood at all. I think it's great. I think it's interesting that I'm interested to see the final season and how it goes with Don on the outs. Clearly, probably Don gets back in or does something different with his tenure. They're kind of breaking up the team slowly, but it's kind of interesting how the whole thing will go. I thought it was a great overall final episode of the season. Like, we got Megan out of there, got Ted. Ted can't do the game in New York, so he's leaving. See what Peggy does now. Basically, is probably one of the heads of creative now. So, yeah, I'm interested to see where we go.
Yeah, I mean, Mad Men is great with its finales, and this one sets up either the characters are miserable or they're going off on new adventures and kind of seeing where they're going to land next season. So it definitely kind of wraps up some of the stuff from this season, and then get you interested into seeing what they're going to do. So
I think what I really like after rewatching is kind of realizing that throughout it was fun rewatching every episode, thinking, okay, this is where Don loses every friend in the room. And you realize that we've gotten to the point where nobody is speaking up for him.
Yeah.
Even like Roger at this point. Even Roger's like, I can't do.
Jones not, like, no one. Like, I expect the new crew to go against him, but even the old crew is like, buddy, go take some fresh air. You are fucked in that. Like, go talk to a therapist. Stop talking to clients like they're your therapist. Okay. Going to Greg, get yourself a gun. Mo and Joe. Yeah, episode basically starts where the kid, the lawn guy comes over to Tony's and is like, "Hey, I'm not even jail and shit. Like, do I still have to cut this grass? Like." He's like, "Oh, you don't want to do it now? Like when he needs you most at this point? Like you disgraceful is what you
You're a selfish fucking prick, Chef. Only
You know
thinking
that?
about money.
Which I was like, I don't blame him. Johnny Sachs meets with his lawyer basically to talk about a plea deal and to rat on people. He does not want to take it when the first meeting happens. Will that stay? Who knows? Janice comes and visits Tony, and they basically have a heart to heart of like, why you don't like Bakla, like help him out, like he should be a captain. He's been here 10 years long. He's like, you know what? How about you worry about your fucking self, Janice? Like, let me do my own thing. And they have like a falling out. We see Vito. He is up in New Hampshire getting drunk at the library where his firefighter diner boyfriend walks in and is like, "What the fuck? Are you even a sports writer? Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you're not doing anything all day." Comes outside. He basically says, he got in trouble. He moved away. He had a wife and kids. All the situation. He's like, I had a wife and a kid too. Like, that doesn't change. I used to work construction. He said he'll get him into a construction place. Carmela and the group all come over to Johnny Sachs's wife's house to like celebrate her birthday. And Carmela looks around and loves like the inside of their house. So does Janice. Why Carmela still trying to struggle with getting the house. Vito and Boy Toy have a little romantic thing in the bed together. Bakla is racing trains and tries to convince his son to come race trains with him. Doesn't go well. I thought it was pretty cool. I don't do trains, but like the little lumber dropping in the thing, I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't know how much money
And
you
then they
spent
had
on
to do the train going into the tunnel joke when
Yeah,
they were about
yeah.
to have sex.
it. Yeah. Carmela. Figuring trying to figure out the situation. She has to get that done. And she also still struggling with the Adriana thing. That did not sit well with her from last episode. Tony meets with Johnny Sachs is like the nerdy guy. Like, I don't know who he is.
Or brother-in-law or something like that.
But he's a brother-in-law. That's
Yeah.
Brother-in-law, but he basically doesn't want Johnny Sachs. He doesn't want Paul
Phil.
Vincent in the like keeping out Tony's life. So Tony's getting pulled in two different directions by Johnny Sachs, and neither one wants him involved anymore. So I think that's really interesting. Tony's trying to figure out a way for her to just not get this house. Like, it's not going well. They're trying to convince her, like, your dad's doing such a good job. Like, why don't your dad just do it? Because she drops that she wants it like Johnny Sachs's house. Then we see Jennifer and Tony basically have a conversation where they basically an agreement or whatever is established that she's going to stop worrying about his comings and goings if he funds the house, and like, which that sounds like a horrible idea. Like, I don't know if that's actually the case, but whatever. Johnny and his brother meet with him. He's like, I don't want 7. They're talking in terms, but I don't want 7 cups. I want 10. 10 fucking rat here. So Johnny Sachs is clearly not taking the news well. Fire alarm goes off in New Hampshire. They end up going, and Vito wants to go with him. Vito takes it and ends up like working electricity and cuts the line, but his buddy, like his boyfriend, not really happy with the decision they do. Like, what the fuck? You're so selfish. What the fuck are you doing? Like, I was like, that's a little out of line. They go to the bar, they all hang out, drinks. Bakula goes and picks up money, gets beat up outside, and gets a gun fired at the ground and shot into his head. So he gets wounded. Paul Walnuts talks to Tony about him having cancer. Like, that's why he's not been around as much. Like, he's had some scares. Tony yells. Tony gets mad in certain situations, and he doesn't say anything, but Sylvia just like stares at him, and he's like, "What?" Because he already knows like Sylvia disagrees with whatever he's saying. I don't know I don't know the context in my brain right now, but he's not. Sylvia just has like he's literally like an angel on his shoulder. Like, I don't think you're good. They end up Johnny Sax's house. They end up figuring out the money. And he's like $5 million like amount, and he's like, well, so basically everything's got to go. Bakula's sitting there with his big old eye patch where Tony meets him, and fucking Janice just rips apart Bakula's son, which gives him direct flashbacks to his mother, like watching her. And then we kind of learn that Janice used to take the blows for Tony, like staying up to his mother, but then she ran and left him behind. So that's why he holds so much against her, where he doesn't let her into it, because overall she left him high and dry. Vito was cooking this whole dinner. They had a little romantic moment. Then he ends up arguably one of the funniest scenes ever is Vito like talking to himself in this brain of like, if I don't check your time, you make it to here, you're halfway through your shift. Oh, we're done, don't look at your time. Oh man, look where the sun's at, it's got to be clear at 12 at this point, blah blah. Yeah, if I do that, don't look at it yet, just wait, all this stuff. And then at one point he pulls it down, it's like 9:55. It's like,
I used to put a post-it note over the little clock on my computer at work so I wouldn't see what time it was. Same thing. It is horrible.
Oh, 100%. I do the same exact thing. I'm like, if I don't see it, the time can fly. But if I'm looking at it, that thing will move slower than fuck. But man, when he just literally looks on it,
he got survived one day of real work. It's like, I gotta go back.
He ends up stealing his car and driving off. Johnny Sax is going to take the plea deal, breaking the money down. She's going to be able to keep like her thing. So basically 4.1 is what's going to be the payment, and 15 years in prison. Tony tries to and while Vito is driving back to New Jersey, he's also drinking heavily while he's driving. Meadows having this breakdown about her boyfriend, but Tony tries to give her best like advice possible. It basically ends with not help. He's like, talk to your mother, don't talk to me. I cheated on your mother for so long. I don't even know how to be a good husband. So good luck. Vito crashes the car into the guy's thing, like into a guy checking his mail. He gets out, he's like, I'll just pay you like $500, $600, which his didn't look wrecked at all. Fucking Vito's was crushed. But then he's like, I was like, man, early 2000s, $500 for like damage, like that's easily $1,500 minimum just to walk away. But Vito ends up killing the guy because he goes back and wants to call the cops, but he can't call the cops, so he ends up killing the guy, ripping his car out of the thing and driving it away. Tony in the deal or whatever meets with Johnny Sax. They agree to the overall term, but doesn't know that he is going to. No one knows that Johnny is going to come clean, like on anything. They're walking through Johnny Sax's house, like appraising it. He has to admit to it, and everybody is hearing this news break. Like, you don't mention the family, you go to trial, you do your court, blah blah blah. Christopher's Maserati gets towed, and it's like, I paid $25,000 cash for it. He goes, if you like it that much, it's going to be up for auction. You can buy it again. Yeah, fuck you. You want me to come back on the thing? It ends with the fucking lawn guy coming back to him and be like, so Yeah, you're done. I think you just admitted that Johnny's guilty. He pled guilty. Do you know the over his head? Doesn't mean he's guilty. Yes, you're done. Vito drives by the meat shop. Janice has a mental breakdown and the thing, and it ends with her going back upstairs. Mo and Joe, thoughts?
It was okay episode. I thought the Vito stuff was interesting. I thought seeing him kind of like live, like he like set himself up a life up there, and then he just couldn't go through with it. He had to come back. Yeah, the rest of it's kind of just like filler stuff. With Johnny Sacks taking the deal and all that stuff, but yeah, it's pretty solid.
I mean, yeah, just kind of. This feels like where we were ultimately heading with Vito. He just kind of knew that. We knew that the Vito's not going to come out, cutting out. The moment he said, like, "Hey, I can get you. You are a contractor. I can get you jobs for the contractor." Like Johnny Cakes did not realize the stuff that he was doing on the job. Like he was sitting on his ass, like watching the guys do the work, like for these contractor jobs. Like it just like he wasn't doing anything.
The one
Like,
that catches him sleeping in the garage.
Yeah.
So I was resting my hips.
I was
supposed to get
surgery.
And then yeah, the monologue he has, like, all right, it's 10:30, has to be. They just gotta match. Just keep waiting, and like
don't look.
and we see what he's doing. He literally just cut one board, nailing it. This is taking 20 minutes. There's no way that much time is passing. But yeah, really relatable, really fun. Then yeah, kind of all the Johnny Sack stuff and kind of him having to like him just getting kind of slowly broken down. This one, there's a lot of fun moments here. Definitely a lot of fun stuff. Although I feel like the meat gonna happen next.
All right. Cold Stones, episode 11. Opens up. AJ no longer works at Blockbuster. Quit, sold a bunch of stuff. The fuck are you talking about? Gets angry with him. Carmelo's not sitting right. It's like, oh, we did a good job. Like, why couldn't we done a better job? Blah, blah, blah. No, it's his effort. Like, there's nothing around. There's people in Ivy School. Look at Meadow, like all the stuff. No big deal. Oh, by the way, Meadow wants to move to California with her boyfriend. Maybe be home for Christmas.
A lot of that going around these days.
Yeah. Paul and Tony are not seeing eye to eye on deals and stuff now that Johnny Sacks is pushed away. Tony's like, I should have never let you slide on those fucking vitamins. So it's like, yeah, it's a done deal. Like, figure it out. Like, they'll get back to normal. Carmelo wants to go to Paris. Want a trip? Wants to end up going to Paris. So that's what happens. And he's like, "Good for you. You can do whatever boys do, whatever that means." I was like, "That's fucking wrong." Do you remember like killing him over a fake nail that was on your nightstand? Like, okay. Vito shows up at a mall. Stands in front of Tony. My brother's over there. Why the fuck you telling me that? I don't know. Just letting you know. Okay, like, cool. He's like, just help me out. Hear me out. It's like, buddy, get it right. You should figure it out. And like leaves him high and dry. Carmela is going to Paris. Vito meets with his family, like he's having some sort of a normal life, like trying to get back into the thing. Calls the guy from New Hampshire and says, sorry, I couldn't do it. He's like, I never want to speak to you again. Don't fucking talk to me. Vito ends up meeting with somebody at the thing. He's like needing some money. He's like, I can offer you like 2.5 points. Like, tries to get back into the game. I believe that was like a setup at this point, like in time. Like, wasn't it?
No, it's just the cat was at the right place at the right time, pretty much.
Yeah, but news is going to travel fast
Yeah.
and beat us back.
Yeah.
Um, um, uh, Paul and Tony are going at each other, figuring out the war of the families is coming. It's just boiling over with each other. Carmela and I never remember her name, are in Paris. They're touring everything.
Rose.
But yeah, which they're having like two different experiences at this time. Like Carmela's trying to do stuff like, I think Richie's like, Ralphie's is like having a great time. Silvio and Tony are having like a argument, basically like all of our businesses are intertwined. Got to figure it out. You got to pick your battles. I can't make everybody happy on every situation. Carmela has Tony gets does what boys do, gets a little hanky panky in the car, tries to pay. Oh no, you don't have to pay. Based on what we were seeing, yes, you have to pay. Kind of gross. That's some facial acting I never needed to see again. Vito gets duct tape beat up, and then fucking Paul Vincent emerges from the closet like a fucking. Every time he
What?
just appears, it's like a fucking.
What a super villain entrance! Like
Yeah.
his guys like holding down Vito and just like he's Nosferatu or some shit, just opening up the closet.
But boss, why are you in the closet? Like, no, guys, this is gonna be great.
Which that is a great choice too. That him coming out of the closet to kill Vito. That is really funny.
It says you're a disgrace in the situation. The family basically sits around the table and find out that Vito has been dead. They've been killed. They do not seem the happiest about it because that was part of their crew. It should have went through Tony's hands on how it happened. Like that's what his belief is. So it's not sitting well with everybody. But they're setting up basically like revenge type plans against that. Paul Vincent basically is talking to Vito's wife, I believe, and like it's sad, it's tragic, blah blah blah. Just trying to make it like seem like they did the right thing in this thing, but not admitting that it was them. Jennifer and Tony talk about the battle between AJ and like all that stuff that ends up happening, like it's battling. 1 second.
I would have thought Sopranos would have learned their lesson about going abroad with the episode in like the second season, but they didn't.
Oh, there's some. I mean, there's some stuff there. They just wanted to. They saw all the angels and like all the statues. And they felt cultured going out there.
I'm sure it was probably like, you guys got to go on the vacation to film that episode. I didn't get to go on vacation. This is bullshit. It's the last season. I want to go on a vacation. It was like, okay, fine, go to Paris.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Tony's talking with Jennifer about the battle with AJ, like figuring out like basically this didn't have the same home life. He wouldn't have survived in his dad's house. Like couldn't be this lazy. Blah blah blah. Which is just like you have massive daddy issues. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I could give two shits less about this Paris trip that they go on and like the conversations they have. If I'm missing any key point, I know he has the dream about Adriana, but like that's the only thing like I ever like. straight tuned out almost. Like, I'm glad she's having fun away from it, but like, is what it is. Who is the guy that? Oh, one of Johnny Sax's crew comes over to the meat shop and gets attacked by Silvio and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Is that what happens?
Kept making gay jokes, and
so some guys don't know when to shut up.
Yeah.
And the
And
longest knife I've ever, like, besides classified as a dagger or a sword, keeps getting jabbed into his stomach. But yeah, they're not cool with him. Basically, end up killing him off. Beat the fuck out of him, stab him, kill him. But yeah, that's their message back, basically, for the Vito situation. Tony's like, good God, like, don't fucking talk to me about, like, God damn it, like, not saying like he's not fully happy with their situation, like doing it in their own business and how the whole situation ended up leaving. AJ is like playing video games with his friends thing. Tony walks in and goes, "Can I see you in the garage?" 7:30 in the morning. You have to meet. You go to this meeting. You're doing construction outside. And he's like, "What?" He's like, "You'll be tough. Like, no problem. Like, get it done. You do not want to test me on this." And then takes like the helmet and bashes in the window. It's gonna be a little breezy on your drive over, but let me tell you, I will tow this thing in and crush it down. I promise you. But like, he gives him zero options. But it's AJ finally gets the first thing, and yes, the end of the thing, Carmela has a dream about Adriana and the French person, and says, "Hey, basically tell him that he's like she's dead." So it's kind of like a sign from her that Adriana may be really gone. Paul Vincent is weird to see him like just sitting there. Oh, Vito's kids read the newspaper about his dad, and that's kind of a overall heartbreaking scene. And he, like, the person that took the picture for Thin Club or whatever, notices that he's dead. And, like, what's the end of the episode? Thoughts on Cold Stones?
I guess Vito wasn't in a secret agent.
that's a rough way to find out.
Yeah.
No, it was a pretty good episode. I liked it a lot.
Mhm.
You get the end, the Vito stuff. I mean, it starts out real fun, especially when he's in the mall trying to tell Tony that, oh yeah, it was the medication they had me on. Don't worry, I'm off the medication. So I'm not gonna be doing that stuff anymore. It's like, okay, Vito. Like, all right, cool.
Sure, buddy.
And yeah, just The Sopranos has been doing a very good job of just slowly ramping up all of the New York stuff and coming at least to that head, and we getting just kind of the brutal kill of Vito, and just getting like all those like kind of the details of it, just really something. Like we get honestly like another solid thing from AJ, at least of him trying very hard just to not go super old school with his son, like is it very neat. And then yeah, we get that great moment where Silvio and that guy just like kill that New York guy like in the shop, and Tony goes in there, not saying anything. He's like, "Don't worry, Tony, you didn't see anything. It's all good. Like, just you got the right idea." No, this was a very good episode.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they did a really good job with all the Vito stuff. I thought they did a really good job tying up that story and kind of putting it on the path, pushing it closer and closer to kind of the Jersey, New York war. And then we had another casualty there. AJ, I know we talked about the children having larger parts with Mad Men. And now we've been dealing with that with Sopranos too, between Meadow and AJ. But the AJ stuff is actually starting to get okay.
I get the AJ hate.
He's not the best, but at least the storyline's going in an interesting direction. And then, of course, like I said, the Paris stuff, I could have done with all that, but it was just one episode, so we'll let them enjoy themselves on a nice vacation. So
Last time they went on vacation, we got a great Furio. Now
yeah,
we
they
didn't
did
get
bring
shit back.
Furio back. That would have been perfect for her
I
to
thought
just
she was
bump
gonna
into
bang
him in
him.
Paris.
I thought she was gonna end up banging him. I thought they were gonna be a reunion. Okay, final episode of this week for me. Not the season finale, but Acacia, episode 12. Open starts with the guy that basically stabbed the other guy and got the frozen head and kicking it down the stairs. It's already taken care of. Paul Vincent ends up walking towards a restaurant with his lady. A bomb goes off. It explodes. Tony gets a phone call and goes, "Oh, by the way, they were walking near it. Done. Here, the stuff." Tony goes and signs a contract for the Jamba Juice thing. The real estate agent goes, "Sorry about last night, but can we have dinner?" "No, thanks. I'm good." Leaves Tony high and dry in that situation. Christopher's having a baby, so they're setting up the nursery, figuring out, but she's a little hesitant about the nursery. She claims that she's not Adriana, so don't worry about it. Carmela talks to Tony about the dream she had of the thing, and like the mother of Adriana got a letter from Salvation Army, nothing paid, so she got to try to take her own life with pills. He ensures that it's just nothing happened. It's Thanksgiving time, so they're all having family events. AJ's working construction, moving cement. He finds this lady walking out of it. He is very attracted to her, so he has some interesting conversation with that. Christopher is banging a familiar face, the real estate agent that Tony was with, wanting to bang. Does one of the grossest lines I've ever seen. "You ruined my dress. We'll just tell them that's how hard you made me." Boom. Okay, disgusting. Let's move on, Christopher. But she's in recovery, we learned. So there's a whole element that will lead her astray. Paul Vincent and Tony meet down with Carmine Jr., which Carmine Jr. was the enemy of all the people, but now he's like the mediator, and they sit down and is like, let's just end it. Let's bury the hatchet. The past is the past. You bombed this place out. You killed Vito. We're doing this. I had nothing to do with that missing person. Like, what are you talking to me about? And then Carmine, good. So yes, everything's screwed, including like your brother dying. And Paul was like, "What the? You want to know what it was?" Fucking starts yelling at him, and they end up leaving. Nothing's amused. Tony's like, "Why the fuck, Carmine? Would you bring that fucking?" Sorry, that was my bad. So nothing is resolved with them. There is still a lot of tension between the families, and they are plotting their revenge against Tony. AJ and the girl from the construction are like hitting it off, having a pretty good time. Tony calls the real estate lady to talk about she's having none of it, but she's like, "Hey, I'd like to look at the warehouse. It's pretty shitty. Let's just meet over there. Let's talk about it." So he's trying to set up the thing to try to get back with her. Christopher and them are at a meeting together, and they're still hooking up. They like end up hooking up in the car, like, oh, they're having a grand old time. She meets over at the warehouse. They talk. They try to get the thing. Nothing ends up working out on that one. Christopher and the girl talk about like a script and calling it a name and like figuring it out. Like trying to. Do you think the butcher's a good name? Well, think about it. Saw. He says another one. Like inches. Like it's one word title. It's what sells. They end up banging again. Paul and them were talking about taking out a boss, and they're like, "Absolutely not. That's unacceptable. I won't have anything to do with it." And he's like, "Well, it could be done." Christopher like talks and like tries to figure out if Tony and the real estate agent was doing anything, and he says, fuck him." And the guy's face is like this, is like, "Oh, like I don't think they're doing anything." Like he tries to backtrack real fast after saying it. Another movie reference that I've seen that they do. AJ and them are watching 40-Year-Old Virgin. When people come over and start waking up, she has a child. They end up waking up and wants to go kick. Like, oh, I had a guy that used to go kick their asses down there. Like my old boyfriend used to beat them up.
What are you
AJ's not
gonna
that kind of guy. So AJ like barters with a bike to tell him to leave. That sets off the girl so much that she ends up banging AJ upstairs. Thank you so much. Now my kids are able to sleep every time. He's younger, so they have that whole thing. I'm disgusted. She has the flu. Christopher takes care of the girl because she has the flu. Paul is having health problems. Paul Vincent's having health problems. They're getting him all checked out. Not dead yet, but they're having that. Christopher and them get high in the car, so his sobriety is completely out the world. They end up getting together. Bakla goes and visits Junior at the thing. He's like, oh, and he gives him back thing. What is this? I think it's money. He ends up giving it to like one of the people like there because he has no. Again, dude just doesn't know where he's at. Completely gone. Christopher is talking to the real estate lady outside in the car, like by the car, because in this whole thing, Tony's like, you got a pregnant girl at home, but you're also banging a girl on the side. He goes, it's a black girl. Like this, the whole situation. Like I don't want to keep her around because, Paulie Walnuts will be racist and do all the stuff about her. Tony ends up seeing Christopher talk to the real estate lady at the thing, and just like, oh, he's friends with the girl. Like that's the whole situation. Well, what are you talking about? Like what to buy her for birthday present? What'd you suggest? Luther Vandross box set. I'm like, okay, buddy. Tony just doesn't. You can just tell in his face he doesn't believe it. They have high, but they end up like trying to talk about like breaking it off. Christopher comes clean to Tony, tells him that he's actually doing it. Tony ends up going to Jennifer, has the whole meeting, is like, this is what I tell everybody. Like, I'm good, I don't cheat on my wife, and then this gets thrown in my fucking face. It's like, yes, but good. This is a breakthrough. Oh, with your fucking riddles and shit. Like, oh, no, this is good, because normally you do an act of rage against your cousin, and that's what you're not doing yet. So he basically leaves the door open on what he'll possibly do. Tony meets with one of the Fed guys outside, and they basically says that New York's pretty angry at him, and somebody in your crew may be in danger. Christopher takes a phone call from his pregnant wife, fiance, however it is at this point, ends up having in front of her smooching. Are we breaking up? No. Yes, you are. He's in a whatever. So they're going to continue their whole little thing. Paul Vincent had a heart attack. Tony celebrates at the bottom. They're like, yeah. Someone goes, you really happy about that? Or Walnut's like, you really happy about this? This guy's busting my balls all over the place. I'm not a little too angry. He ends up meeting with him in the thing and basically has a heart-to-heart with him. And basically like, when I was in this situation, like we need to figure this shit out. So kind of like, isn't there like a moment between those two? Like, I don't know if they agree on anything. But there's enough room for everybody. Like, I don't think he's gonna end up crying, but I don't. Vincent doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
But there might be.
It's a little
I
open
think that
ended.
was Tony's transfer to the truce. Is it gonna work? Who knows?
I mean, his number two didn't seem like
yeah, his number two does at the door is like, we gotta stop meeting like this. And I was staring at him, but that's your number two. You're the better number two. The dude's like 5'2". I don't know what the fuck your problem is. This team is such a cinephile too. I'll be honest with you. Like they watch some old classic things.
Yeah, there's no way that kid is freaking watching Casablanca.
No way.
Yeah.
Um. Uh. Carmela goes ahead with ordering stuff for the roof and moving ahead with the overall situation, and they have this whole little nice Christmas family dinner, and that's basically how the episode ends. Thoughts?
Yeah, AJ brings his lady friend and her kid home, and that interesting. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's a solid. I
Meadow should
mean,
be just sitting there and be like, "Oh, it's okay now."
but she can't even say nothing because she's on the phone in California.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, Christopher doing his usual douchebaggy behavior, getting a woman who was in AA back on drugs again. And it was like someone that Tony was maybe trying to hook up with too. Yeah, that not really a whole ton. I mean, Phil's in the hospital, I guess. AJ had a pretty good episode, but yeah, definitely happy it's not like a season finale, I guess, unofficially. So we don't have to rate this whole thing as a season, but
Yeah, hopefully the next few will get better. But
I mean, like you talking through it again just makes me just like Christopher just doing, just what Christopher does. Like I know we talk shit about like Don. Don does a whole lot of bad stuff. Like Pete does a lot of bad. Christopher, I think in general, I think maybe the most toxic character I think we've ever talked about in this show. He
I mean,
literally
if we had
every
like a fuck up of the week, it'd be him and Shane going neck and neck every week.
every
of
like
all
literally
episodes, even the first season that we did,
I think literally everything that Christopher touches, like he makes everything worse. Like this person, she was having a good life. She's life back on track, successful person, and he gets her back on the drugs within like a week. Like Christopher is just such a shitty influence on people. He just makes everything worse. Like
Ian doesn't agree
yeah,
with that.
just like because what's weird is at the beginning I was thinking, oh, this is kind of a nice relationship. Like it seems like something like Christopher could do, like meeting her AA. They kind of have stuff in common. And then like the very next scene, like they're like doing heroin in his car, and I'm like, okay, like it didn't take long till we got there. Like yeah, also at least AJ's getting some. That's good for AJ. Everybody's upset because she's Dominican, but like, hey, like,
yeah.
like I think it's the first time we've seen AJ in a serious relationship in a while.
I mean, I felt like a certain way when she like pretty much told him like, "Hey, my last boyfriend would go kick their asses. Like, what are you gonna do?" It's like, is she like using poor little AJ? But hey, he seems to be doing all right for himself.
I mean, like, what did she expect him to do? Like she's been talking to him for like 10 minutes. Like he like she knows what he's capable of, which is nothing. All right, like. If he was able to handle it that way, Tony would have him on the payroll.
Go down there and like start a fight with him, get his ass kicked. But ever the diplomat, he figured it out.
Yeah, but yeah. Imagine just being the last of Sopranos you saw for a year, and then like, oh yeah, here's the second half is coming out in a year.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Maybe it was like 18 months. I think there was actually a bit of a gap.
No, I just looked it up. So this was in like June, and then the next section of episodes started like April the following year.
Okay.
So it's not too bad, but
I mean, they would do that sometimes. No, they would do that sometimes.
There was definitely like a 2-year gap in between one of the seasons.
But okay. Well, at least we won't have to worry about that. Yeah, we'll get there.
So I think we had a couple of Bad Guy of the Week nominations, some strong ones.
So many. I would nominate the creators of The Shield for not doing the show properly, but it's done by a country mile. Allie was close second.
I mean, there's Don, there's Billings, there's Sally, there's Christopher.
I feel like all of them deserve to be brought, except maybe not Sally. Like we joke about Sally, but like, come on. To me, Billings deserved to be brought up. I'm not gonna pick Billings, but like, I mean, just the manipulation he threw around that office to then lead Dutch to, to seeing an image that will haunt him for the rest of his life. Like, it is something.
And he's suing the LAPD.
That, I mean, that also did help. Like, that the next episode is, oh yeah, by the way, I'm suing you guys, and I'm going for disability. So like, you guys, it's just really funny. But yeah, you're right. It's Don. Like he did all that just to have sex with Sylvia again. Like, yeah, that's real scumbag material.
Yeah, and like I said, I think like even worse than that, I feel is like what he did to like Peggy in like the second episode, because she was all excited about that great commercial idea that she had, and he's like, nah, fuck that. That was Frank's idea.
It was going to cost too much money.
So yeah, Don it is.
Don, are we all in agreement?
Yeah.
We're
Good job. Welcome to the team.
This is the third time we've all picked on that I know of, at least.
All right, season rankings. We only get 2 of them right now. We'll finish the last one. Reminder just of the top 5. Field season 5 is at number 1. Season 5 of Mad Men and season 3 of Mad Men tied at 4.5. Then Sopranos season 3 and is at 4, and then The Shield season 4 is at 5. Where are we rating Mad Men season 6? We will start with Mark.
This one's a little tough because I was also trying to remember what I rated stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure I gave, because to me, even though season 3 is really high, I honestly think it's kind of around the same.
You gave 3 or 4.
I gave 3 or 4.
Yeah, you gave 3 or 4. You gave 4 and 5, both 5s.
Yeah, that makes sense because like I really like that one. I think season 2 and 1, like because it's around that area. I think season 6 in general is kind of one of my least favorite seasons of Mad Men. It has a couple of really cool episodes in there, but I think it does kind of slow things down a bit. I feel generous. I'll give it a 4. Like it's still pretty good. It's just like kind of I think it does take a step back from where we were at with 4 and 5.
What did I give last season, Matt?
You gave last season a 4.5.
Yeah, I'm at a 4.
I think I'm actually the opposite of you guys. I actually really like this season more than the last season. I thought they brought the intrigue with like combining the 2 firms and stuff. And as fucked up as Don's situation was, at least it was entertaining. So I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Okay, 4.25 it is. I was close between a 4.5 and not. It would have still resulted basically in the same thing, or locked in the 4.5. So that at least clears it to. Oh, we got a lot at the 4.25 range. So a good amount. We'll put it up there, and then we can talk that out.
I mean, we'll have to talk that one out. I don't think we'll have to talk this one out then.
Shield, Matt.
Okay, this season has some of the worst episodes of the entire show, but it's also got some really good stuff in like those first 3 to 6 episodes. Like the Forrest Whitaker stuff.
Episodes are strong.
The finish up the Forrest Whitaker stuff really good. They get torturing and killing that one guy, and then the big confrontation between Shane and Vic. If they would have ended the season at episode 6, we would have been talking about 4 or 4.5. But I the rest of it just drags down. I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Mark.
I think I'm gonna be about the same. I think I'm gonna land at 3.5 too. Like it, because I think I'm probably still higher on this than like I think like season 2 and 3 because I think like season 2 or 3 are probably my lowest rated for the Shield. I think
Yeah,
it's probably
2
yeah. I think it's definitely better than those. It just mainly because its highs are really high. I really wish I wish we had gotten more out of those last 4 episodes. We would have continued the momentum that we got from season 5, and that just unfortunately wasn't the case.
The more I sit on it, the more I think about it. Even when I said it, I still think the show has a problem because it peaks when Kavanaugh is in the room and listens in and confesses. And then it tries to peak again with, if I see you again, I'll kill you. And then he doesn't live up to that promise at all. And that's just where it falls on deaf ears and doesn't work for me. Because they're still in the same room. They still talk. They still communicate. It's just weird. It's tonally just broken at that point. So I'm at a 3. Because I think as much as I love the start of it, I just don't love where we finish. So that's just where I'm at. So it's set at 3.25. We'll solve this one quick. Is season 6 of The Shield better than season 3 of The Shield? Which is so far tied for our worst episode this season.
I feel like it's better than season 3. Yeah.
It has higher highs than season 3
definitely.
for sure.
Is it better than season 2?
I think again it has higher highs than season 2. I would say it's a yes.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I'll
Because
go
I think
with
the
that.
only thing that's helping it is because the establishment between we know all the characters very well and they're all fleshed out.
I
Then
feel like
there's
they're pretty much on board because they had the same problem where they had the
They-
armadillo stuff, then they just fell off a cliff there at the end. Yeah.
I was about to
It's
say
very
that
similar.
they had
It's
the
very
same
similar.
they have the exact same issue.
Ricky Ricardo.
It's just I think it's a little bit better because the season's shorter. That's probably the reason why.
Like if there was 3 more episodes,
All right, so this is where it's going to be interesting. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tied at 4.25. Okay.
Cool.
Mad Men season 6, is it better than The Sopranos season 4?
I think so.
I agree.
I guess it doesn't matter what I say. I'd lean.
Yeah, Mark
You'd
gave,
say-
Mark
you
gave
would
that a
say Soprano.
4.5. So
I probably would say no, but I guess I'm outvoted on that one.
Is season 6 of Mad Men better than season 4 of Mad Men?
No,
I agree. No.
hard no on that one. No.
I think it is, but you guys so
Well, and I will also say I do not believe it's better than season 4 of The Shield. The Glenn Close season. I don't think. I think that's up until 7. I
the
think
Anthony
maybe.
Anderson season.
Yeah. You would say yes, though. Mark.
It's the closest one we brought up. I will say that.
Okay, because that's where you see me and Matt in lockstep on science. Because it's up there. It's higher than Mad Men season 4, and you would not agree with that.
It would really be good if I remember what I gave that one. Like
Season 4 of The Shield,
Matt.
you gave a 4.5.
okay, then I guess it's a no. All right. Okay, help me
All
out.
right. So that's where it ranks. Sopranos will join it, and The Shield and Mad Men season 7. We will start that next week. Where we're at. So we're down to the final 4 or 5 episodes.
5.
Down to the final episodes.
So
My last week is one episode. Right.
1 episode and a movie.
Yes,
Yep.
we're doing the
What's it
called?
Many Saints of Newark.
Yeah.
The Many Saints of Newark. We will also do that as a tack on at the very end before we wrap and go into our next season. So
So for next week, it's 3 Mad Men's, 3 Shields, and 2 Sopranos. Cody's got it easy the rest of the season.
let's go, baby. Do you want to update kill count before we go?
Oh shit, yeah. I did it for Mad Men and Shield.
Yeah, that's
since
fine.
they had seasons. Let me get that here real quick.
I wouldn't put you on the spot on Sopranos.
Okay, so Mad Men was actually doing some killings this season. So they're up
They
to
did?
17 deaths plus the 94 in the plane crash. And then the Shield, they're kind of leveling off a little bit. They're up to 219 kills.
How come even with the plane crash, like Mad Men still can't keep up with the Shield?
What was it like? What was it with Breaking Bad? If we added the hunter, the people died in the plane.
Yeah, that definitely bumped up their numbers too. They were
Okay.
at 270.
Yes.
So Shield.
We will see you next week as we start season 7 of these 2 shows. Have a great night. Bye bye.
Let's take it a little slower. Wake up, Rick. On the
I'm a different kind of cop.
I don't wanna do your dirty work no more.